All right, let's dive into a story that's just timeless. It comes from the Bhagavata Purana, and it's all about two friends, Krishna and Sudama. And really, it gets to the very heart of what friendship, humility, and pure devotion are all about. And it all kicks off with a question that, I think we've all wondered about at some point. Can a friendship, a real friendship, survive, well, everything? Time, distance, a huge gap in status? Let's dig in and see. Okay, so to really get this, we've got to go back, way back. The foundation for this whole incredible story was laid long before one friend lived in a palace and the other, well, didn't. You see, Krishna and Sudama, they weren't just buddies. They were practically brothers. As kids, they did everything together at their guru's ashram, studying, doing chores, learning the scriptures. And when things got tough, like during a big storm when they were out gathering firewood, they had each other's backs. Always. Their bond was built on real, shared experiences. And that right there is the first big takeaway. Their friendship wasn't about status or possessions. It was just pure, built on respect and genuine care, way before life took them in completely different directions. So, fast forward a bunch of years, and wow, did their lives change. Krishna becomes this grand, magnificent king of Dwarka. And Sudama? He continues his life as a humble scholar, super rich in spirit, but really struggling financially. This huge contrast is what sets up the entire rest of the story. Now, Sudama was pretty content. He never once thought about going to his powerful friend for a handout. But his wife, she saw their family struggling, and she just gently said, "Hey, what about your friend Krishna?" And it was that little push, that loving suggestion, that got him to start the long journey to Dwarka. But wait, you can't go see a king empty-handed, right? Sudama didn't have any money for fancy gifts. No jewels, no expensive cloth. All he could scrape together was a little bundle of poha, that's beaten rice. Super humble. But you better believe that little package was filled with so much love. All right, so there he is, Sudama, with his little gift, arriving in the incredible city of Dwarka. And what happens next? Honestly, it's one of the most powerful reunion stories you'll ever hear. Just try to picture it. Sudama in his simple, worn-out clothes, standing at the gates of this jaw-droppingly beautiful palace. I mean, of course he was hesitant. He must have felt so small, so completely out of place. But then, a guard goes inside and announces his name. Sudama is here. And deep inside the palace, Krishna, the king, hears that name, the name of his best friend from childhood. And what does he do? Does he send a servant? Nope. Does he wait on his throne? Not a chance. Krishna ran. He just ran. Barefoot, casting aside all the royal rules, just sprinting to the gates to see his friend. And the welcome, wow, it was something else. Krishna just grabs Sudama, hugs him with tears streaming down his face. Then he brings him inside and sits him down on his own throne. And if that wasn't enough, in front of the entire shocked palace, Krishna himself washes Sudama's dusty feet, the highest possible honor. Even the queen, Rukmini, was there, fanning him with respect. What Krishna did here says it all, doesn't it? Real greatness isn't about being a king, it's about humility. He showed everyone that when it comes to a true friend, nothing is beneath you. No act of love is too small. Okay, so the welcome was just unbelievable. But let's not forget about that little gift Sudama brought. What happened with that? Well, you can imagine, right? After all that, surrounded by all this wealth, Sudama was mortified. He felt so embarrassed by his little pouch of beaten rice. He actually tried to hide it, thinking it just wasn't good enough for a king. But Krishna noticed, and he didn't just politely accept it. He kind of playfully snatched the bundle right out of Sudama's hands. He took a handful and ate it with this look of absolute delight on his face, telling everyone it was the most delicious thing he had ever tasted. Because he knew it wasn't about the rice, it was about the love. And that's the point, isn't it? The price tag on a gift means nothing. It's the love behind it that counts. Krishna's reaction just proves that a simple gift given with a pure heart is worth more than all the gold in the kingdom. So after they spent some wonderful time catching up, it was time for Sudama to head home. And here's the thing, Sudama never asked for a single thing, and Krishna didn't seem to offer him anything either. Or did he? As Sudama walked home, his heart was just overflowing with joy. He wasn't disappointed in the slightest. Just seeing his friend again was everything to him. He came for connection, not for cash. He had no greed in him at all. But Krishna, well, he's not just a king. He's a true friend. He saw and understood everything without a word being said. He knew what his friend needed. And back home, a massive surprise was waiting for Sudama. It was the unspoken blessing. Sudama gets back to his village, and his little hut is gone. In its place stands a golden palace, and his family comes running out to greet him, not in rags, but in beautiful, fine clothes. Krishna gave him everything he needed, and more, without ever making a show of it. So when you break it down, each person in the story teaches us something huge. Sudama is all about being content, having pure devotion, and just no greed. Krishna shows us that a real friend never forgets you, that humility is key, and that the best help is sometimes silent. And Rukmini, she represents that deep respect for devotion and compassion. And really, the ultimate message here is pretty powerful. When the love you offer is pure, what you get back can be more than you could ever imagine. Sudama just wanted to see his friend. He offered a handful of rice and all his love, and look what he received in return. So that leaves us with something to think about, doesn't it? In our own lives, when our love is pure, for a friend, for our family, for anything, what might be given to us without us ever having to ask for it?